Hello friends, this session is presented by me, Gaurav Srivastav. First of all, I want to thank you guys for supporting my previous posted video. I need the same support and your comments to publish my future video with more clear and elaborate way. So let's start today's topic LRIT, which is abbreviated as Long Range Identification and Tracking. So LRIT is a system which is used to track the ships by their flag administration. LRIT is basically a system, not a equipment. Just marks my word, it's a system through which flag administration can track the ships registered with their flags. The next topic is objective of LRIT. The objective of LRIT system is that all ships must transmit their position report to the flag administration at an interval of at least 6 hours automatically without human intervention. It means without interrupted by humans. LRIT automatically send the position report of the ship after every 6 hours. So in a whole day, LRIT used to send total 4 number of reports. Now we are going to discuss about the purpose of LRIT. There are 3 main purposes of LRIT. First one is maritime security. LRIT provides ship's identity and current location information in sufficient time for a government to evaluate the security risk posed by a ship off its coast and to respond to reduce the risk if necessary. So in that way, LRIT helps in enhancing maritime security. Now, the second purpose of LRIT is maritime pollution control. So through LRIT data, anyone can track the location of the ship in the past hours. In this way, it enhances maritime pollution control. And the third purpose is search and rescue. So the explanation is same. LRIT provides the data which can tell the past track of the ship, so through which search and rescue operation can also handled and executed. LRIT is a global system, meaning ships can send their position report to their flag administration from anywhere globally and hence have global communication service, which means LRIT uses satellite system. So LRIT is basically a satellite based system. Now we are going to discuss about the location of LRIT on bridge. In most of the cases, LRIT is integrated in SATC, which is an Inmarsat satellite based GMDSS equipment. So it is quite ineffective in polar regions, that is 76 degree north and 76 degree south. Beyond that, LRIT does not work. This is because LRIT is integrated in SATC, and SATC is an Inmarsat system which uses geostationary satellites. So the coverage of geostationary satellite is between 76 degree north and 76 degree south. It do not covers the polar region. That's why AIS is required in polar regions instead of LRIT. Now we are going to discuss about the LRIT configuration or LRIT infrastructure. So here is the basic idea of the LRIT configuration. This picture shows about the LRIT configuration. It consists of ship, LRIT, satellite, communication service provider, application service provider and data center. Now we are going to discuss these components in brief. I am going to explain the LRIT configuration. So the first component of LRIT infrastructure is ship's LRIT system. Which gives the information about ship's ID, that is call sign, the position of the ship, and the third is date and time of the report. Now the data is transmitted through communication service provider, that is CSP, which is basically a satellite. Now the data goes to ASP, that is application service provider. ASP adds the data in the data obtained from LRIT of the ship. So these data are ship's name, IMO number, ASP ID, data center ID, and various timestamps. Now there are certain responsibilities of ASP. Configuration, testing of LRIT, certification of LRIT test, and monitoring. So these are the 4 responsibilities of ASP. From ASP, the data goes to the LRIT data center. And from LRIT data center, it will go to the national authorized users. And these users are: number 1, flag state, number 2, port state, number 3, coastal state, and number 4 is search and rescue agencies, that is SAR agencies. So there are different data centers of different countries. Our ship used to send the data to the flag state of own registered ship, but there are different data centers of different flag state or different flag administration. So how they share the data? They used to share the data by a system known as IDE, which is International Data Exchange. configuration which is stated in the dotted box is DDP, that is data distribution plan. And it is controlled by IMO coordinator. Now, there are some key points to remember about LRIT. Number 1. LRIT data is confidential. It is highly confidential. Number 2. If any vessel is in the territorial region, which is 0 to 12 nautical mile range from any country's baseline, then as per DDP, through IDE, that is International Data Exchange, flag state of the ship is bound to give the data to that country. Territorial region is basically from the baseline to the 12 nautical mile from the baseline. It is under the UNCLOS, United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea. So territorial region is classified in UNCLOS. And the third is country beyond the reach of any ship through their territorial zone will not be able to fetch LRIT data of that ship. Let's understand these topics in the next slide. So I draw 3 countries named as country 1, country 2 and country 3. As in the diagram, ship 1 is in the territorial region which is under 12 nautical mile range from country 1 and country 2 baseline. So flag state of ship 1 is bound to provide data of the ship 1 to country 1 and country 2 registered authorities through International Data Exchange. But if country 3 want to fetch data of ship 1, then country 3 will not able to do that. The same thing will apply for ship 3. The ship 3 is trading in the territorial region of country 3. So the flag state of ship 3 is bound to give the LRIT data to the country 3. But if country 1 and country 2 want to fetch data of ship 3, then they will not able to do that. So this is how data distribution plan works, this is how LRIT works, and this is highly confidential as I explained you. Now we are discussing about the carriage requirements of LRIT. So after 31st December 2008, all passenger ships including high speed craft and cargo ships of 300 gross tonnage and above and mobile offshore drilling units must have LRIT on ship. So guys, please keep supporting me and I will be back with more helpful topics related to your exams. Thank you and please like, subscribe and share my video. Bye.